Hi, this is Grant with Malka Pens. I want to introduce you to one of my favorite carry-around pens, the Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black. This pen weighs about 31 grams or a little over an ounce, 1.1 ounces. It measures about 14 centimeters at length or 5.5 inches. Let me get a pen that you can kind of compare to. If you line up the pens, I think the G2 is just a fraction of a centimeter longer. So it's very comparable, I would say, to the G2. It's a little bit shorter than that. Like the G2, it has a very cool click mechanism. I really enjoy this pen. So if you take a look at the box that it comes in, once you slide off the cover, you have the pen inside of a kind of a clear plastic covering, which just opens like a clamshell, and then you would just simply remove that that pen. It comes with a converter already in it. This is actually the old converter. This is the Con 50. It comes with a Con 40. Let me see if I can find one without having to take that pen out. The Vanishing Point comes with a Con 40, which looks like this. And you basically, it's a twist converter, so you basically just twist the back to draw ink up. When you twist it down, it pushes the air out of the converter, and when you twist the other way, it creates a vacuum and draws the ink into the converter. And these little roly balls in there are called agitators, and their job is to basically keep the ink flowing, so the ink constantly goes down and wets the feed and thereby wets the nib. So that's that. One of the great things about the Pilot Vanishing Point and Decimo is that it has a retractable nib mechanism, so you can just click the back, unclick it, ready to write, very easy. Let me get some light on this for you. I wanted to show you, so inside of this, the pen's housing, you can see there's a trap door that kind of gets depressed when I push on the back of the pen, and the door opens and the nib comes out, right? And then once you're done using the pen and you put it back into the, let's see if I can get this for you. Once you're done using the pen and it goes back in, the trap door or the spring-loaded door goes up, so the pen does not dry out. And this is the fine nib, okay? And I have it currently inked right now with the Shinkai, which is an Roshizuku ink, which I really like. Let me do a quick writing sample for you so you can get an idea of how this pen works. I really like the way this pen holds in the hand. A lot of people make comments about this clip. They say, oh, they don't like it because they can feel it when they're writing or it bothers them. But I have very average size hands, not gigantic hands and not very small hands either. And when I hold it, the index and the thumb just place perfectly within this little groove that's within the, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get that light on again for you. Yeah, see that there's a little groove. There's kind of a spot where the clip gets thinner here, and your fingers can place right in it for just consistent writing. I prefer this clip in this position, because when I'm writing with this pen particularly, it's usually because I'm on the go. This is clipped to my pocket. I take it out. I want to write quick. I click it, and then I know exactly where my fingers should go, instead of having to look at the nib and wonder, oh, is the nib facing up or not? So let me write writing sample. You can see the Shinkai just goes down beautifully on this paper. This is the Rhodium blank pad. So the way I write, you can see there's definitely some shading going on. I like this particular ink because it's not too wet and it dries relatively quickly. I also like blue blacks and darker inks in general. Most of the pens I sell for the average, office worker, someone who needs something to go to work but wants to enjoy it as well. I think this is perfect for that. I just love the way it's a stealth pen, and I love the way it writes. The fine to me is a perfect size. I think anything smaller than this, I do have an extra fine with another ink though. It's a Decimo, an extra fine, but the extra fine, I mean, it is really really fine. I mean, it's wet too. That's a surprising thing. There's Asagao in here, and it is a very wet pen. You probably really can't see that, but it's significantly more feedback. I wouldn't say scratchy. There's more tooth, more feedback than the fine. So that's something to be aware of. That being said, the E's and the O's are really easy to write if you have small handwriting. I kind of do have a small handwriting. I tend to, but I gotta say, this extra fine nib tends to make your handwriting a little smaller too, because of the feedback. You have a lot more resistance on the paper as you write. So that's something to think about. I really think once you go to the medium from this, it's a huge jump up. So it really makes the fine your perfect all-around size, in my opinion. If you're looking for a great pen and take around anywhere, solid metal body pen with an understated look that has an 18 karat gold nib, which I love. I'm in love with it. I would strongly suggest this pen, the Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black. I also do sell it in the rhodium and lacquered, kind of more glossy black color as well, which I think is a beautiful pen as well. I can pull that out real quick for you so you can take a look at what it looks like at least. I have all sizes of the matte black as well as this rhodium run as well. And this one's a stub nib, which I think is super cool. I'm not going to write the whole thing. This is Yamabudo, but you can see how that it's just so wet, and there's so much line variation, so much shading, inevitable sheen on the right paper. I love this color. I love this pen, and I think this is a really beautiful combination as well. I think either of these, the Vanishing Point in matte black or the rhodium colors, are going to be a great addition to any professional type of stationery. So if you're looking for something that's going to fit in any boardroom, something that's going to look professional but really make you stand out as someone who's thinking different, I think either of these is a great choice. Me personally, I go with the stealth most of the time, and that's primarily because I like to just stay super low key, and this one, even though it's very beautiful, has a little more flash to it, a little more pizzazz, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's not gold and black, which also exists. I don't carry it just because I don't think it's as professional. I don't think it's as low key, which I appreciate. I appreciate a low key professional pen, which I think either of these are. So anyway, if you have any questions, any comments, please comment below. You can also email me at grant@malcapens.com, and please follow our Instagram at malcapens, and like us on Facebook, Malca Pens, Instagram, Malca Pens, Facebook. Alrighty, take care, bye.